Have you ever seen a footballer transform from a rising star into a walking meme?
Boy, what the hell, boy? Oh my God. Oh, hell no, man. What the... Man, get your ass on.
A player once destined for greatness, now mocked, ridiculed, and labeled as football's most hated figure? How does someone with the skill to leave defenders in the dust and a price tag of $85 million become a punchline for jokes? This is the story of Antony, a player who went from dazzling crowds to becoming a symbol of unfulfilled potential. What happened to the brilliance we once saw in him? Was it the pressure, the price tag, or something deeper? Let's unravel the dramatic rise and fall of one of football's most polarizing players. It all begins in the bustling city of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Antony Mateus dos Santos grew up in Osasco, a tough, working-class neighborhood where opportunities were scarce and survival often took precedence over dreams. For Antony, football wasn't just a game, it was his escape, a way to envision a better life for himself and his family. His talent was evident from a young age, and Sao Paulo FC quickly spotted it. He joined their youth academy where he stood out for his flair, creativity, and unrelenting determination to succeed. In 2018, Antony made his debut for Sao Paulo's first team. While he showed promise in his initial outings, it wasn't until the following season that he truly began to make waves. His performances in the Campeonato Brasileiro and Copa Libertadores turned heads. Antony's style of play was exhilarating, blistering pace, dazzling footwork, and a knack for pulling off the unexpected. Scouts from European clubs started to take notice of the young winger, who was becoming a standout player in Brazil. By 2020, it was clear that Antony was ready for a bigger stage, and Ajax came knocking with a $13 million offer. Ajax was the perfect stepping stone for Antony. Known for their ability to nurture young talent, the Dutch Giants provided him with the platform to showcase his skills to a global audience. Antony wasted no time adapting to European football. In his first season, he racked up 9 goals and countless assists, mesmerizing fans with his ability to cut inside from the right wing and deliver curling shots into the far corner of the net. His flair was a throwback to the street football style of his childhood, unpredictable, exciting, and uniquely Brazilian. But Antony's star wasn't just rising in club football. Before we move on to the next part, make sure to hit the subscribe button to help us keep bringing you more great content like this. Back to it. The 2020 Tokyo Olympics provided him with the chance to shine on the international stage. Representing Brazil, Antony played a key role in their campaign, helping the team secure a gold medal. His performances throughout the tournament were electric, cementing his reputation as one of football's brightest young talents. By the time his second season with Ajax began, Antony was a household name among football enthusiasts. Ajax dominated their Champions League group that year, winning all 6 matches, an extraordinary achievement. Antony was instrumental in their success, scoring critical goals and providing assists in pivotal moments.
The best.
Domestically, Ajax cruised to another Eredivisie title, with Antony playing a starring role. His technical ability combined with his confidence on the ball made him a nightmare for defenders. But even as he reached these heights, there were whispers of concern. Some fans and pundits began to question whether Antony's flair was more about showmanship than effectiveness. Was he doing too much for the cameras and too little for his team? Those doubts didn't stop Manchester United from making a record-breaking move for Antony in 2022. Erik ten Hag, who had worked with Antony at Ajax, was now the manager of United and insisted on bringing his star player to Old Trafford.
Antony, I backed him for a long time. He is unstoppable.
The transfer fee? A jaw-dropping 85 million euros, making Antony one of the most expensive signings in football history. The weight of that price tag carried enormous expectations. At first, it seemed like Antony was ready to deliver. On his debut against Arsenal, he curled a beautiful goal past the keeper, announcing his arrival in style. He followed that up with another spectacular strike against Manchester City and became the first United player in history to score in his first 3 Premier League games. Fans were ecstatic. They believed Antony was the key to reviving Manchester United's fortunes, but the honeymoon period didn't last. After his goal against Everton, Antony's form took a sharp downturn. He went 6 months without finding the back of the net. Fans, who had once chanted his name, grew increasingly frustrated. Critics called him a one-trick pony, overly reliant on his left foot and predictable in his movements. Defenders quickly figured out how to neutralize him, and Antony became less of a threat and more of a liability. Then came the moment that cemented his fall from grace. The infamous 360 spin move. During a Europa League match, Antony performed the flashy trick, spinning twice with the ball at his feet, only to deliver an aimless pass to no one. What should have been a dazzling display of skill turned into a symbol of his struggles. Social media erupted with memes, and pundits ripped into him, calling it pointless showboating. Even some of his own teammates seemed exasperated. Antony's World Cup performances for Brazil didn't help his case. Struggling to make an impact, he later blamed the stadium air conditioning for his lackluster displays, a bizarre excuse that further damaged his reputation. Back at Manchester United, things continued to spiral. His fiery temperament led to on-field clashes, including a heated confrontation with Jeremy Doku during a Manchester derby. Antony's frustration boiled over, resulting in a scuffle that dominated headlines. Once again, he was the subject of ridicule. Despite all the criticism, Antony has had moments that remind us of his immense talent. A crucial goal against Barcelona in the Europa League showed flashes of the player fans once believed in. But these moments have been overshadowed by inconsistency, poor decision-making, and a failure to adapt his game. His debut season at Manchester United, which started with so much promise, ended with an injury that kept him out of the FA Cup final. So, how did Antony go from being one of football's most promising talents to a figure of mockery? The answer lies in his inability to evolve. Football is as much about adapting and learning as it is about raw talent. Antony's reliance on the same moves, his predictability, and his struggle to handle pressure have all contributed to his downfall. He's become a symbol of unfulfilled potential, a reminder that talent alone isn't enough to succeed at the highest level. But here's the thing, Antony is only 24 years old. He still has time to turn things around. The question is, will he? Can he silence his critics, prove his doubters wrong, and reclaim the promise he once showed? Or will he remain a cautionary tale of what happens when flair outweighs substance? The next chapter of Antony's story hasn't been written yet. The choice is his. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.